Yeah, Joy Villa on the track.
So many people trying to stop me from speaking. So many people trying to keep me from thinking. But I'm awake and I'm tired of sleeping.
No going back, no going back. Mental prison, slavery of the mind. Education keeping us in line. Propaganda controls our youth. Stolen culture, broken truth.
In place of conversation, the system that we've got will solve the situation. My thoughts ain't got nothing to do with my persuasion. It's more than just a race relation.
Choose life, freedom's what you find. Break chains, free thoughts not a crime. Propaganda controls our youth. Soul culture, broken truth. Activities exposing the toxicities. Who's the truth?
Good morning, Joy Tribe. Are you serious? We have not gone live in almost a week. We have had replays of some of my most popular shows. Thank you guys for holding on with that. If you have not ever seen this show before, this is the Joy Vila Show. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Joy Vila. We are back live 5 days a week. We talk about the 5 pillars of joy: faith, freedom, finance, fitness, and family. And we are live every single weekday, normally, except I was on vacation last week, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. That is right. So I came back from Los Angeles at the Hard Faith Film Festival, where I won. I was awarded, I was nominated for 5 awards with my new film, Pastor Sue Saves Christmas, and I won Best Supporting Actress, and we won for Best Hair and Makeup. So very awesome. Such an honor at the Hard Faith Film Festival in Hollywood. A 3-day event. And then I spent 2 amazing days with my family, my in-laws out there in Los Angeles. So really amazing. I missed you guys. I missed going live. I have to say I liked sleeping in as well. Speaking of sleeping in, we have got an amazing West Coast guest. She's laughing backstage. The indomitable, yeah, that's a real word, indomitable, unstoppable force, tour de force of nature. She's been on this show before. She's awesome. You do not want to miss what she has to say. So get your comments and your questions if you know her you know her and you're going to want to ask some questions because last time we were on, it's one of my most watched streams. And we talked about her being a third generation Scientologist, ex Scientologist. You guys know I left Scientology 15 years. I was 15 years in. She's been in, was in for her whole life, born into a cult full of narcissistic abuse, generational control. This woman is now out, has been out for a while. She's an author, a creator, a mom. She is an artist as well. And it's no other than my friend, and soon to be your friend. When you hear her testimony, it's amazing. Liz Gale. Brr, brr, brr. I'm going to bring you to the stage.
Hi. Oh, I can turn my camera.
You can turn, yeah, there we go. Boom, exactly. Let's fill the screen.
There
Good
we
morning,
go.
beautiful.
Let's see. Let's see.
Liz, I'm so glad to have you back.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is your art. So this is part 2. If you guys haven't seen the first interview, it was amazing. I mean, we rocked and rolled. Lovely Chaos is in the chat said, we missed you too, Joy. Hey, Liz Gale, welcome. Tina May,
Congratulations, by the way.
Liz Gale. Leslie says, hi, Liz. Thank you so much, you guys. Oh, we got the scripture of the day. Word from Jesus, John 12:46. I have come as a light into the world, that whoever believes in me should not abide in darkness. Ooh, that's accurate. We're going to expose the darkness with the light. So, Liz, how have you been? You've been busy. This woman is busy.
I have been incredibly busy.
I love it.
I love that you texted me at what 5:50 this morning. Are we still on? I was like, oh my gosh, I'll throw some face on. I'm coming.
I should have texted you yesterday.
Nobody
I was
judged
so
me.
busy yesterday. I should have warned you. I should have said, we're still on, right? But you got ready like a champ. You could have canceled. You could have said, no, I'm still in bed. You're amazing. So thank you.
Well, you know how when you wake up in the morning and you're dreading something, or you wake up in the morning and you're excited. So I just jumped out of bed. I was happy to do it. I was just rushing.
It's like Christmas morning, right?
Exactly. And as you can see, this morning we are down in my studio. Let's see if I can turn this.
Okay, yes.
This entire room.
Is incredible. This is her art studio.
I'm probably going to unplug stuff back. It keeps going around and around. But we had talked about this, showing this last time.
Oh, wow.
Okay, guys. This is what it is. I'm going to tell you, Joy, because I've been waiting to tell you about this.
Tell me.
These are my. Okay, I'm going to back up. Do you know that moment when
you echo? They said we got some echo.
You know what I'm going to do? Is this better? Ooh, still echoing.
Oh, I hear it now. Liz's echo. Do you have YouTube playing? If you have headphones, yeah, headphones would work because then you can hear me. Yeah, if you get headphones, then you can hear me while presenting. We're gonna get some audio fixed. Oh, you guys couldn't hear my new audio. I have a new microphone. How's my audio? I'm going to make sure I have echo cancellation on because that might also help. Hello, guys. How's this sound? Better? So we're going to wait for Miss Liz Gale to be able to come back. She will be back. She's just getting her... Let's see. She's getting her microphone all fixed. I'm going to bring her back put her in the backstage. She'll get it fixed up. If you're listening, then the anticipation is huge as well. Oh, she's back. Yes.
I don't know if this worked.
Is it better?
I had to take off my mic. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you good. I can hear you fantastic. Joy Tribe, how's the sound? Peter says Joy sounds great. Okay, good. Because I have a new microphone. I updated. Okay, good. We don't mind the Liz echo. She does have a lovely voice. I know she does have okay, no echo now. It worked. Everybody's saying yes, it worked. Thank you guys. It's all good.
Okay, but is it working now though too? Is that better?
I don't know if the sound is necessary, but did you attach the mic?
Yeah, but I can take it off. I'm not a good audio person, guys. I'm the worst.
I don't think that mic is attached because it doesn't change sound. If you go into the
Okay.
background, I think it's still just from your TV or from
Sorry,
your.
you guys. It's so annoying to listen to people. It's so annoying to listen to
You know
people.
what?
when
We're
I'm
cute,
doing
so
it.
we get away with it. Liz is
Should
cute,
I
so
be
she gets
extra
to
cute when I do this? I'll try.
it. Guys, if you don't know Liz, you got to follow her on TikTok
Okay.
because she's got amazing, funny, where she shares her journey very naturally.
Yeah. Pro
Okay.
tip: don't wake up 5 minutes before a live and expect your
Oh
audio
my
to work.
gosh, it's great. Perfect. Everybody says perfect. Candy Bar says perfect. Georgiou says yes. Yep. No echo. Awesome.
Yay, thank you for
Wonderful. Good
your
job.
patience with that. Okay.
Yes.
Back to it. So you and I, Joy, last time talked, we went pretty deep and we talked
Yeah,
a
we
ton
did.
about our experiences, and we
Mhm.
really talked a lot about the witchcraft roots of Scientology. I think that's something that
Mhm.
you and I both are super curious about. We both looked
Yep.
into.
Yep.
And if you remember, I don't know if you had the same experience, but there's so much when you're in Scientology that you don't know. You don't know about the occultic roots. You don't know about a lot of the
Mhm.
scandals. You don't know
Mhm.
about all the wives of L. Ron Hubbard or the bigamy. And
Yes.
so you can go a little crazy. You have to unpack a lot, not just the Scientology experience, but all the lies that were underneath the Scientology experience. And so
Yes.
for me, I started trying to keep all this inside my head. If you imagine a
Mm.
crazy conspiracy theorist who has these, I call them, well, they're the M word boards, but detective boards, we'll call them. You see them in every single movie ever,
Yes.
solving a crime. And I thought, am I really going to go down that route? Am I really going to be that crazy lady that does an actual board? But guess what? There's not enough for one. There's too much for one board,
This is
right? Like,
amazing. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so I don't have the string on yet because I'm very carefully placing things in order, and I want to do kind of like a performance thing, putting the string.
Mhm.
But this is called the Red String Project, and let's see if I can do this
Wow.
gracefully. We're in a
This
pump
is
house,
so
y'all. There's
cool.
a well. I have a well on my property, and it's next door.
Oh, how
So
cool.
I could bring the whole thing, but I'm not going to. Can you see me? I'll bring
Yes.
it over for a close up in a minute. But so this starts with China communism. I don't know if you guys know this, but way back in the, I'll pull it down.
This is amazing.
Oops, I ripped it, but that's okay. Way back in the day, this will probably be backwards for you guys, but some POWs came back from communism China, Red China, and they wanted to stay in China. They were brainwashed. It was the first time that brainwashing came into play. It was like coined as a word, and our
Mm.
government started doing experiments to find out what happened to our soldiers to make them turn on us and want to become communists. What they do. And so for forever, they've been working that backwards, right? So that's my
Yeah.
first board. Then we've got L. Ron Hubbard's Navy. We've got pictures. You can't have boards without maps. We've got science fiction. And up on some of these, I have like vintage documents.
Oh, wow.
Let's see, where did I just push it? Like, I'm all plugged in here, otherwise I could move this over. But I have L. Ron Hubbard's brainwashing manual. I don't know if you know about this one.
Oh my gosh. No, that's actually written by L. Ron Hubbard?
Yeah, but it's a trick. He actually wrote this, and the light, because it's in plastic. It's very old, you guys. It's an actual vintage. I'm not going to take it out, but
Yeah.
he wrote it and pretended that communists and psychiatrists, I forget exactly who, but he said the enemy wrote it, but he wrote it.
Are you
But I find,
serious?
yeah, but I find it really interesting because L. Ron Hubbard talked a lot about black Dianetics. Have you heard about that?
Yep. Yes, I
Yeah.
have. Yep. Yep.
So the idea is that Dianetics as a process is so powerful that it, like all magic could be used for good or evil, depending on what
Yep.
kind of witch
Yep.
you are. Um,
Even
and
to say
so,
black Dianetics, it's like that is very witchy. Black magic,
right.
white magic, right?
And they use it to say that black Dianetics would mean using Dianetics for sinister purposes, right? It'd be because the tech is so powerful to free man that if you flipped it on its head, you then could enslave man. So I always thought this was a really interesting document because to me it proves that L. Ron Hubbard was very aware of brainwashing and how to do this. It wasn't a mystery to him. It didn't just happen. He was very, very well aware since the beginning.
Yeah.
So
he
anyway,
wrote
that's
that
just,
manual. He wrote that manual on brainwashing and claimed that the enemy wrote it.
yes.
How
To
did we find
prove-
out that he wrote it?
That's a good question. I'm actually not sure. I would assume in one of the lawsuits, but that's a really good question that maybe somebody in the chat can look it up, but we can look it up and find out.
Yeah.
That's probably a good part of the story to know.
That's amazing. I mean, that is some serious talk about brainwashing. That's misdirection, right? As they call it. In politics, they do it a lot too. They'll call out something that they claim the other side did, but really you did it. Or you can either misdirect to something that you didn't do just to get the attention. It's a magician, right? It was a parlor trick. It's magic trick. It's misdirection. Right. You see this card here. Meanwhile, your other hand is grabbing the string that's going to pull the dove out of your head, out of your butt or whatever.
Right. And the whole trick hinges sinister. On that distraction.
Yeah, this is super sinister because he not only is saying that the enemy brainwashes, but he literally wrote the brainwashing manual and said, look at this. This is the enemy doing it.
Yes. And that was, I forget what year this is. I mean, I guess I could open and look, but I feel like it's in the 50s.
40s, 50s?
I'll look. I will. Oh, no.
Oh, does it say? Oh, wow. This is a real, you got this document. This is authentic. This is crazy. Oh my gosh.
There's tons of authentic stuff on these boards, actually.
Oh my gosh.
It's a combination of vintage things, pamphlets, books, whatever. And wow, I'm old, you guys. That was hard to read. 1955.
Wow, you took it out of the plastic. Are you serious? Can you put it up to the screen? This is amazing.
I could read you the chapter titles or something if you want.
Yes, please.
So it says, Brainwashing, a synthesis of the Russian textbook on psychopolitics. Psychopolitics, the art and science of asserting and maintaining dominion over the thoughts and loyalties of individuals, officers, bureaus, and masses, and the effecting of the conquest of enemy nations through, quote, mental healing.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And then you can see here proof that we published it.
Oh my gosh. Wait, it's published as a public service by the Hubbard College of Scientology, St. Hill Manor. That's where I was at in East Grinstead, Sussex. Still going, guys.
They said they came across this, and this was the Russian playbook, and they're publishing it as a public service.
Oh,
but it turns out that L. Ron Hubbard wrote it.
Wow, such a crazy thing. So we have some amazing comments here. Lovely Chaos says brainwashing and gaslighting. Exactly. The Journey 2020, welcome to the show, says he was an expert hypnotist. He knew mind control. He knew all of it. That's right. Fat Grammy says Scientology is based on witchcraft and it attracts it even now, 110%. It is witchcraft.
Yes, 100.
Tim says there's a Wikipedia page called Scientology and the Occult, required reading. Yes.
There's a couple of studies as well, like actual academic studies. I can't remember who wrote them. I'm going to blank on the names, but you can look them up. There's one that's called, I think, Scientology and the Occultism or something, and it is meaty. Greater minds have put a lot of time and research into this.
I love that because I want to read that. I did a lot of research. I haven't read that particular study. I read that Wikipedia page. I had a lot of research when it came to my book, which I'm going to use
Yes.
this as a, as a way to promote it. Perfect timing. Thanks, Liz. From Scientology to Christ, the escape they never wanted me to make. I go into very detailed account about Scientology's witchcraft origins, because that is truly what helped me remove the tentacles of Scientology, helped me heal from Scientology, to see the lies. It's a process. It took years. It took over, 2 years. I've been out for 2 years, but the real process of unwinding and researching was brutal and real. And I came out only in May, like publicly. I came out publicly in May, but in February is when I knew no more, and I started actually researching the deception. So I was physically out, but mentally and emotionally and somewhat spiritually, I was still like, well, I might go back there. It's still good. I wasn't disconnecting myself from it. When you do that, as you know, Liz knows, 3 generations, this was what you grew up with. It's crazy the weight that comes down of truth when you realize how deep and dark and deceptive it is. Like, this is why we talk about the witchcraft origins. It's not just some kooky thing. They're abusing people. They're spiritually manipulating. It's spiritual abuse. And when you spiritually abuse someone, then you can do physical abuse, emotional abuse. Everything goes, because they've got you. They've got you. So thank God we got out. Woo! But you guys can pre-order that book on Amazon right now. It comes out October.
Do it.
And Liz, you have a new book coming out.
Well, yes and no, kind of. I've changed courses completely, Joy, and I've
Okay.
decided to. I'm actually trying to get a literary agent. I don't have
Oh,
one.
yeah, that's right. You should have
So
one.
I'm not. I wasn't going to self-publish my other books, but I've decided to put a
Yeah.
hold and see if I can get some representation. So
That's actually a really great idea. So well, you already have a book out though, right?
I do, and it's funny because it's like feels like the opposite of yours. We have from Christ to consciousness, and
Uh-huh.
then we have Confessions of an Ex-Scientologist Pothead.
I love
Kind of different. But
I love
all
it.
throughout Scientology, I knew better than to get onto psychiatric medication or antidepressants. And so for a while, I did use cannabis as a self-medicating. There's like kind of some loopholes in Scientology about it. So as a kid,
Oh.
I do you know that if you have cannabis, that you have to wait 3 weeks before you go back in session? I don't know if you
Yes.
ever came
Yes, I
across
knew that.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
So
aspirin, it's 24, 48 hours.
yeah,
Yep.
alcohol's
3 weeks.
24 hours.
Yep.
So I would use that. I would very deliberately use that to
So
cushion
you didn't have
myself
to go
with
in
time.
session.
Yeah, yeah.
Smart.
So much like Leah Remini's Troublemaker, or, I kind of wanted to embrace the pothead name because that's what they always kind of came down on me for.
Yeah,
And
because in
I'm also from
Scientology,
Oregon.
if
It's
you guys
legal
don't
here.
know, in Scientology, it's so like drugs, and I still had that programming. I don't do drugs, I don't smoke pot, but I'm not stupid to see that like pot is not the same as crack. But in
Right.
Scientology, it is, right? Speak about A equals A, which is just like,
Yeah.
it's like if you smoke pot, oh my gosh, it's evil.
Right.
You've committed a huge thing. I mean, I knew somebody who had to do their purification rundown again because they smoked pot.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it was just, they really punish you. It's so weird how they are so strict on pot, and I think it's because they've pushed themselves into their own trap
Yeah.
of everything L. Ron Hubbard put in the 50s, they have to enforce because they've told us
Right.
this is policy. And a lot of it is very old fashioned. Now, I'm not a pot smoker, but I'm also not somebody who's like, I'm not going to be like puritanical on somebody if they're going to smoke pot. A lot of people smoke pot to sleep or to deal with anxiety. I'd rather you have that than a psychotropic drug or hurting yourself or or whatever. It's just some people drink, some people smoke pot. A lot of pot smokers I know don't drink. It's their way to relax. So I'm not as puritanical on that stuff. I'm more like, do what you want. But as a Scientologist, I had to be so extreme. And that
Yeah.
really shaped me to where I had panic attacks when I found out a friend smoked pot. I'd be like, because it's like an SP characteristic almost. They're suppressive. Like it's so the fact that for people who don't know, who are like, what's the big deal? Liz reclaiming that and being like, yeah, Confessions of a Pothead is a huge deal. So I applaud that.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. That's a good explanation. And I feel like a lot of people do that when they leave Scientology. It's like all this shame is put on you. And we all find our
Yeah.
own ways to own it, or maybe not own it, reject it, whatever. We have our own paths. And so, yeah, I guess
Yes, absolutely.
that's been
Absolutely.
mine. Yeah.
I
And as
know.
far
And
go ahead.
so your books are available on Amazon right now?
Yeah. Yep. You can
Okay.
find my book, Confessions of an Ex-Scientologist Pothead, on Amazon.
Yes.
And I would love it if you guys picked it up. And if you do happen to pick it up, please leave me an honest review. It actually does help, because I'm going to show my future literary agent that I have reviews on
Support.
Amazon.
Yes,
Yeah.
guys, we have to buy her book and support and leave a review. Let me put it up right now.
Yeah, check it out.
Liz Gale. If you go to Amazon, a lot of times, because authors, you can search their name on Amazon. You can go to Amazon Business and just put her name in if you can't remember the name of the full book, because it comes right up. Here, let me put this on the screen. And we
Or
want
you
you to
could just
get a
really
really good
typecast
literary.
me and just write Liz Gale Pothead. It'll come up like that too.
She's not afraid to be typecast. Here we go. Liz Gale. I just put your name in there, and Confessions of an Ex-Scientology Pothead popped right up. Oh my gosh, I love it.
And I have
Look at
good
this
reviews.
cover.
Yeah, lots of
I
good stuff
love
going
it.
on.
Look at that. How cute.
Mhm.
Born in sparked up, got out. Amazing. Guys, buy this book. I'm going to buy your book for sure, and leave a good
Thanks.
message. I mean, leave a good comment, right? Like look at you, got a ton of 4.7 out of 5. You had 84% 5-star reviews. Give her more, guys, so she can get a really great literary agent. They do look at that stuff. All right.
Yeah, they do.
And support Joy Tribe. We got to support. Miss Liz, tell us more about your art project. It's so fascinating and
Okay.
intense and
Twist my
real.
arm. Yes. Okay. Well, I guess we'll stay on the occultic witchcraft roots. This board I'm actually can pick up because I can't point you down there. This was the first board I started with, guys, and I realize it will be backwards to you, and I apologize for that.
It's actually not backwards.
How do I find myself? Here I am. Okay.
Yeah.
So a
The
lot of
occult,
us
1940s. Oh.
So a lot of us started when we learn about the occultic roots of Scientology. A lot of us start with this era. We learn about how L. Ron Hubbard lived in Pasadena. At let's see, where are we? I'm lost on my own board, guys. At this address. This is an actual picture of Jack Parsons' parsonage, the mansion where he rented out.
Oh my God.
He had a real ad in 1942, rooms for rent, artists, visionaries, bohemians, dropouts, and occultists.
Oh.
And then this one, I'm like holding up a giant board, guys. Put on my hip like a baby. This was an ad they put in the paper where they were recruiting people to the house with L. Ron Hubbard for the OTO. The OTO is the Ordo Templi Orientis, which is the group started by, where are we? I'm lost. Aleister Crowley and his black magic. And over here, this is the woman, Sarah Northrop. I prefer this picture, though. I colorized that one.
Oh, wow.
She was Sorer Cassip. So she was really high up in the OTO. And when, I don't know if you know this either, this is a little scandalous. Jack Parsons was married to Sarah's sister and Helen, her older sister. And Helen got tired of the, can we say orgy? I don't know. Of the,
Yeah.
of the orgies, of the bohemian. They were trying to do a bunch of, aside from the magic, they were like very much living the do as thou will sort of lifestyle, which is from basically a tenet of this OTO. I'm gonna breathe fast. I'm getting so excited.
Yeah.
Okay. So Helen goes on vacation one day, comes back. Her little sister is wearing her clothes, sleeping with her husband, and smoking her cigarettes. She's like, you don't live here anymore. She was like 17, I think, 18 maybe. So
Oh
her
my
sister moves
God.
out. Sarah starts hooking up. Well, she's probably hooking up with everybody, but Jack Parsons, L. Ron Hubbard, and Sarah start doing ritual black magic. They are trying to
Yeah.
summon I'm going to set this down for a sec, a moon child. Now,
Yes.
I've never totally understood this. I've heard different things. I've heard that the moon child is supposed to come back and bring about a different era of humanity. I've also
Mm-hmm.
heard that they were actually trying to summon the first person to walk on the moon, which I find really interesting as more of a literal representation. And L. Ron Hubbard
Oh,
was super into the moon. I have another vintage document right here. This
wow.
is called Fortress in the Sky. It's not sci-fi. It is an actual, it's like a story, but it's meant to be representational about putting military bases on the moon. And I thought
Yeah.
how great that would be.
He talks about that in the Dianetics literature, not Dianetics necessarily. I think it's Ned, like New Era Dianetics, where I studied it as an auditor. He talks about moon bases and how we were supposed to have had colonies and bases on the moon millions and trillions of years ago in past lives.
Yes.
That's crazy. The other thing is, when you talk about that moon child, that's also a term in black magic and magic for the Antichrist.
Yes.
So it's wanting to birth in the Antichrist because
Yeah.
he was a Luciferian. He believed that Lucifer was the good guy. The Antichrist is going to bring about a new, world, prevent Jesus from coming back because Jesus is an alien implant. I think that's how he said it later. But here he
Yeah.
very much was a Luciferian, as they are. They worship Lucifer, who was the first angel to rebel against God, and AKA Satan. So when people talk about Satanists, they don't understand that Satanism is this do as thou wilt. It's
Right.
black magic. It's nature worship. It's occult paganism intertwined. It's intermixed. They steal a lot from a lot of different sources. And it's this belief that we are gods. God is actually not God. We become more powerful. We control, do as you want, do as you wilt. That is the only law. It's a very humanistic, narcissistic, controlling belief system, and that is
Yes.
Satanism. They're literally worshiping Satan, but here in this occultic Luciferian, it's more of like they worship themselves and they believe they can bring about the new generation using satanic powers. And Jack Parsons talks a lot about that. It's crazy, crazy stuff
Yes.
that they hide so deeply.
Yeah.
This is so anti-Scientology. Now, I spoke about this to a current Scientologist, Liz, a friend of mine, and I'm not going to say who it is, of course.
Yeah.
And they were just like, well, it's great that he explored different things. And, on his way to finding Scientology, he was kind of got in the dirts and a bad boy and like experienced life from the bottom up. What
We all
is
live a bad
your,
boy, don't we?
yeah, I'm like, now as a believer in Jesus, this is like the most abhorrent thing because they tell you can be a
Right.
Christian, but you obviously can't be a Christian and a Scientologist when this is literally the roots. They don't deny it, they don't confirm it, but this has been confirmed publicly many times. But when you come in, they hide it. But
Right.
what is your answer to somebody? What would you say to someone who's a Scientologist who's maybe like, well, okay, cool, that was the past, but there's not, what's wrong with that? He was just exploring this. I mean, because obviously you've done the deep dive.
Well, I'm sure there's deeper to go, but excuse me. I think I would talk about Sarah Northrup. I would talk about the fact that she had a huge hand in writing Dianetics. She was with L. Ron Hubbard during the time of writing Dianetics.
Wow.
And I think that simply cannot be overlooked. In fact, they
Yeah.
tried to erase her. I don't have it here. I'm trying to think if I have it somewhere else. Maybe it's on this one on the front.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. This is just on a poster board. It's not totally done, but this is my Sarah board.
Ooh.
You can see here,
That's
wait,
so
where do we go?
good.
This is
Yeah.
her and him her and him is, that's probably bad grammar. This is L. Ron Hubbard and Sarah on a boat. Look at the picture next to it. They
They
literally
photoshopped her
erased her.
out.
They've
Oh my
erased
goodness.
this woman. Why?
Oh my
Why?
goodness.
Because well, for one, because he was married. He was married to somebody else. That's a big part of why. And who would take lessons on being the most ethical human or on how to make your marriage work when you're a bigamist? Not just a bigamist, but L. Ron Hubbard, when Sarah turned on him, he took their baby, Alexis, flew to Cuba, and told her that she would never see her baby again if she didn't take back everything that she had said about him. She had accused him of, these are newspaper articles. Let's see if I can. Mrs. Sarah Northrup, 25. By the way, can we just back up for a second? This is a 25-year-old woman. I mean, wow. Okay. Let's see. She says she charged her husband in her divorce suit that Hubbard subjected her to systematic torture through denial of sleep, beatings, strangulation, and suggestions that she should unalive herself as a divorce hurt his reputation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wife accuses mental expert of torturing her. So he wouldn't give her baby back. I mean, their baby, but I don't care. He can't have her. It's her baby.
Yeah.
Until she formally retracted this. And there is another statement of hers that she signed that is basically like, you know, everything I said I take back. And she did get her daughter back. And I have who knows what anybody would do in that situation, right? I mean, you're especially 25 years old. You're just you're a baby and somebody takes your baby. And in what year was this? Let's see. Alexis was born in 1950. So Dianetics hadn't been written. Oh, wait. No, that's
it had been. Yeah,
I got this date wrong. I think I've gotten a date wrong here. Anyway, I'll have to look that up. And they were writing Excalibur, like the beginning, the precursor to Dianetics.
Yeah, Excalibur, exactly.
Yes. And in that, you know about axioms. So an axiom, for anybody who doesn't know, is a fundamental truth. So if you're going to go debate with somebody, you would have axioms, and those are the non-debatable truths that you then put your argument on top of. In Scientology, there are axioms, and they are the way that energy works in the universe. They're like, I'm not going to get into it more than that. Turns out, guess who else wrote about axioms and had axioms in their book?
Sarah?
Aleister Crowley.
Oh, all that is unholy. Yes, Aleister Crowley.
Yes. So for me, this was where I started, because I mean, it's so cut and dry. It's so fascinating. He lived in the same house. They practiced black magic.
Yeah.
When I went to Scientologists and told them about what I had found out, particularly my mother, who, by the way, was an early class 12, did the first OTA, was on the maiden voyage, was raised in Scientology. She is a hardcore true believer. She told me, she said that that L. Ron Hubbard actually was an undercover agent working for the government, and he was put into that house to break up the black magic, and that he succeeded by stealing Jack Parsons' girlfriend, taking her away, etc., etc.
They will just excuse anything.
They will. I will say, though, that the deeper and deeper that I have looked into this, I don't believe that L. Ron Hubbard worked for the government, but I believe very much that he was high security adjacent. If we look at his, I don't know if you can see this up here. Oh yeah, maybe you can. This board here. I can't take it down. You probably can't see this, but you know about NASA and its occult symbolism, right?
Yes. Oh, my husband would love this. He taught me about that. Isn't that crazy? Liz, you're so informed with this. By the way, it is a conspiracy. It's not a theory. This is proven stuff. A lot of this is
Yes.
the thing. When people say conspiracy theory, it is a conspiracy. Conspire to
Right.
people plotting, right? An underground, usually nefarious plot is a
Mhm.
conspiracy.
Right.
Theory is it's not proven to be true, but this stuff is
Right.
so proven. There are so many technical writings and educational
Mhm.
writings and literature writings that prove this, that it takes more faith now to not believe in these occultic practices and the satanic underground, this control, this
Right.
Epstein like stuff, this which we all know this. When, especially when you've been a Scientologist and you leave and then you do the research, you're like, I was a part of something so evil. That was the hardest thing
Mhm.
for me to stomach, right? Because
Yes.
you were a child, you didn't have a choice, but because kids can't consent. They can't. No
Yeah.
child should be in Scientology, period. But I had a
Mhm.
choice. I was 22. Still, it doesn't mean I'm less of a victim. But for me, it was very hard to be like, I cannot believe I lent my power, my energy to such an evil entity.
Mhm.
And the thing is that from the moment you step into a building of Scientology, everything is organized and planned to codify and look at you as a product. How can
Yes.
we get this product? How can we manipulate this product? Even to the lowest
Yep.
level, people who don't know it's manipulation necessarily, they are taught the same tactics. They may not have
Yes.
knowledge of what they're doing. They think they're just trying to find your pain points to get you in to help you, because that's what they're manipulating to believing, right? From the upper levels. It's
Right.
literally multi-level manipulation. But you are codified, you have a numerical number that you're assigned. There's charts that they put you against. That it's not innocent. That
Right.
I just had this thought the other day. I was like, wow, when you take the personality test, like, how crazy is that? Because you are immediately sucked in. I mean, I was crying when they read me the results. I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, they know me. This is true." It's such a bastardization of the truth because
It is.
they've manipulated you with certain questions that are obviously manipulative, and
Mhm.
you can't win that test. I remember one time I was flying high and I was so good. I was like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah." It actually said that this person is thiety weedy or this person is faking. I was on staff at the
Mhm.
time, so I could get my own results, but I took the test
Yeah.
honestly. I was just like, really feel good right now. And it was like, there's no way this. So if someone were to read that to me, they'd be like, so you're false because you're supposed to read it with cold-bloodedness. You're supposed to read
Yeah.
it like, yeah, your life is falling apart. See here, this part right here, that means you can't take responsibility for those around you.
Right.
How's your job? And they'll just push with those kind of manipulative questions until, of course, you can find somebody. Nobody's purely happy, so they can
Right.
always find something to tear apart and then to
Mhm.
say, we have the answer. And
Yep.
that is the most evil manipulation. I mean, from the gate. That's
Mhm.
why you cannot believe anything in Scientology, Dianetics, anything, because on the surface, it's so great what they promise
Mhm.
you. And there are
Yeah.
some truths in there that are intertwined, just like a drop of poison in a soup, it ruins the whole soup. You
Yeah.
can't just say, "Well, I just want a little corner of the soup," because there's some good. Don't just think, "Oh, I'm just going to utilize some of this because Dianetics is," because that's what I've met people who go, "Well, I read it. It's very fascinating." I'm like, you don't read it, study it for all intents and purposes. I would never tell you not to look it up and to study, but study it with the knowledge that it's evil, that everything's a lie, and what
Right.
Liz is showing you right now, because this is the truth that they try and fight and spend billions of dollars so hard to manipulate and hide. This is the
Right.
truth they hide.
Right,
Yeah.
because if you start researching this truth, everything lines up with Scientology that it becomes undeniable.
Yeah.
Um, did you know that I was on staff for 6 months? I was the PES at the Portland Celebrity Center,
Oh
Portland,
my
Oregon. So public
gosh.
executive secretary, which means I was above of Div 6, which is
Were
the
you in the
public
Sea Org?
division. No staff, just a
That wasn't a
staff.
Sea Org. The
Mm-mm.
Celebrity Center wasn't a Sea Org. Wow.
Right. And actually, it doesn't exist anymore. There was a Portland org and a Portland Celebrity
Oh.
Center, and they always were like, turf wars. So they did combine
Yeah.
them.
Like
So
what they
as
did in
the
London.
oh, okay, yeah. As the public executive secretary, my job, because it wasn't a well-staffed division either. I only had one person under me, and she was in charge of the course room. There's a separate training room in Scientology for the okay, I'm gonna back up. If you start Scientology and you take a introductory class, it will be inexpensive, it will be basic, and you will take it in a public course room that is designed not to show you anything sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get up to the academy level, you will go to a new course room, usually on a different floor,
Yeah.
behind more security.
They don't
And that's where,
intermingle. They don't
right,
intermingle them.
no. And that's where you'll see people, talking to ashtrays or bull baiting each other or practicing on the e-meter, all these different things.
Yeah.
So in order to sign somebody up for one of these courses, my job was to find their ruin, which means that I have to bring them down to realize that they need help, right? Which is what you're talking about with
Literally.
these. You take
Yes.
this Oxford capacity analysis,
Yep.
total bullcrap test designed so you will, there's different categories of life, and it's
Mm-hmm.
designed that you will fall short. There's only so many points. So you will fall short and you will be
Yep.
high in different ones. And
Yep.
where they're low, you are supposed to zone in and basically make them feel so crappy and
Oh yeah.
so like, oh, what do I do? And then you feed
Yep.
them the solution, which is whatever
Yes.
introductory class goes along with that column, right? It's like,
Yes.
oh, your money, your
Yes.
relationships, communication, integrity,
Yep.
whatever. So it's all a scam from the beginning. I will say I only lasted 6 months on that job. I was
Mm.
terrible at it. I was terrible at it, especially
I was
because
gonna
at the
say, I would have
time,
thought you were good at it because you have such a great personality and you're so good. They would pick people who have a good personality to be the front because the
yeah,
PES or public exec sec has to be a face, the face in
right.
Division 6. Everything's in divisions. It's very like the military, isn't it?
Yes,
But
very
you're
much.
picking, 15-year-olds to do these jobs and but it's like military style,
Yeah. I mean, I
big
was
time.
19 and like a size 4. I mean, I was rocking it. I did love aspects of the job. I do love people. I have no problem talking to
Yeah.
people. And I realize now that I'm older, it was the product I was selling I didn't feel good about. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a great salesman. I'm actually not. Maybe it's my history in Scientology where like I cringe hard sales.
Mm.
It makes me sick to my stomach. I don't like it.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
And so I 6 months I lasted on that job. And of course, because I didn't fulfill my contract, I got hit with a bill for $4,000 for my time.
19-year-old.
And I
First of all,
paid
you
it.
volunteer, but people are supposed to get paid based on the statistics. The more people you bring
Right.
in, the more you're supposed to get paid, but almost no one gets paid in
Right.
staff. And that was always the thing they would talk about. "Oh, it's a problem." Because 'Cause I'd be like, "Why isn't our staff paid? We have these beautiful multi-million dollar, gorgeous buildings."
Yeah.
All the buildings are just, like, stunning. They brand new buildings, at least when I came into Scientology,
Right.
is that push for the ideal orgs.
Mhm.
But the staff can't survive. You can't eat,
Yeah.
you can't make a living, so you have to moonlight or get another job, but
Yeah.
L. Ron Hubbard speaks very negatively of moonlight. You're not actually
Right.
supposed to. You're supposed to be dedicated. So I'd be like, "Why don't we have staff housing?" I used to think there's very
Yeah.
good solutions here, and they're not gonna spend that money on it. Why would they? That takes it out of, Dave Miscavige's Lamborghini fund or whatever he spends it on. Why would they
That's
actually
right. That's
take
right.
care of their
Well, and I mean,
volunteers?
I know, and that's kind of a weird thing about being a staff member. It's because you're in between a public and a Sea Org member, where you're working your butt off, but you still have to eat and pay for your food in the real world and your rent.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually lived with a Scientology family, and I exchanged cleaning services in order to pay
Wow.
my room and board. So I would work at the
Oh,
org, and I was allowed to get one day off. I had CSW, that means like official request, one day off a week so that I could do the majority of my other work. So
mm,
I was working my butt off. And I had my associate's degree at that time. I had graduated from
wow.
community college with my early childhood education degree. I had moved to Portland to
Oh.
go to school to finish and get my bachelor's at Portland State University. And I got sucked into the staff thing. There was a boy, I will say.
It's always a boy.
There's always a boy. Um, and
Oh
he's
my
now
gosh.
I think now he's still there. I think he's the executive director of Portland's org to this
Oh
day.
my gosh.
Him and his friend were a huge part of the chase wave. They got into a lot of trouble. I'm not sure if you guys know about that, but
Mm-mm.
you don't know about the chase wave, Joy?
No,
Okay,
what
let's tell
year
you real
was
quick.
this? Wait, before you get into this, I want to read some of the comments too, because
Okay.
everybody's literally the last event I went to was L. Ron Hubbard's birthday, and I never went inside. I just smoked pot out in the parking lot, says Amber.
Were we together,
Hilarious.
Amber? Was that you? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right? You guys were smoking pot in the parking lot. Ganja Girl, Liz Gale's book was the first book I read about Scientology. Ganja Girl,
Oh,
good to
that's
see
great, Ganja
you.
girl. It's because of the name, right, Ganja?
I know, right? The journey. Hubbard said that there was an aspirin epidemic. So part of the things I liked about Scientology is that everybody did more natural healing modalities. So I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who likes to pop aspirin. I'm like, well, let's figure it out. Is it water? Is it salt? Is it just rest? Is it food? Right? There's a lot of things you don't have to just throw medication on. But
Right.
aspirin epidemic, like they treat you. They say when you're under any of these chemicals, you're less aware. So it kind of
Right.
makes sense in a way. Everything kind of makes sense in a way. You're just like, "Oh, okay, okay." They just give it to you. And when you're out, you're like, that was stupid.
Right. Yeah. I think
I'm
I
so
hit middle
engaged
ground
by this.
now.
What was that? Sorry.
Oh,
Liz?
I think I hit middle ground now with some of those over the counter
Yeah.
medications. I mean,
Yeah,
I
because it's
definitely more
individual.
natural and want to get to the root, but like if my kid has an earache, like an ear infection or a really high fever or something, I give him Tylenol.
Yeah.
So I'm a
It's
horrible mother according to Scientology.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, well, let's make it make sense. There's a balance in life.
Right.
Sunrise Joy Learn Daily says, I'm so engaged by this. The artist's
Oh,
take on Scientology is incredibly interesting, and your work shines. It's great to see Liz presenting facts with such undeniable accuracy. So these comments are amazing. Raz, like, I got to read these comments. That was beautiful, Sunrise. Very true. The Holy Rogue says, I love listening to this history.
great.
Signs and Style says, thank you for talking about this. It's all connected with the government and how we are governed until this day.
Agreed.
Absolutely. It's all
Agreed.
connected. Crazy, crazy. And Lovely Chaos says, wow, this is awesome. Such details and things they tried so hard to hide. Amber said again, yeah, that story is crazy. She was so worried about her kid and he wouldn't give the baby back. So sick.
Yep.
That's with Sarah, right? With
Yes.
his first ex-wife. I think he was married
Uh,
3 times. Were
well,
they
he was
married?
married at the time.
He was
So I
married to
don't,
someone else, but he had a baby with Sarah. Is that right?
yeah. Yes, he was married to, I think her name was Polly. I don't know where her thing is now. But yeah, he was married to a woman and he had, I think, 2 kids with her. I don't have my board up, so I'm probably going to get it confused. But L. Ron Hubbard Jr., who went by Nibs, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No.
Wow. Okay, we have so much to catch
Yes,
up
we're
on,
live.
Joy.
There's so much to teach me. Yes, we're live. Everyone's asking, are we live? Because we took a week off and everyone's like, is this a live or a replay? We're
Right.
live, guys.
We're
And if you're
live.
watching the
Hi.
replay, still leave me a comment. Please, Joy Tribe. I love to see the replay. And go support Liz on her channel. I'm going to link her books and everything down below. But we are live. Hi,
And if you're on
Bushido.
TikTok, find me on TikTok because that's really
She's
where I
on
live.
TikTok. She lives on TikTok. Yeah, follow her because I'm barely on TikTok. I am on TikTok, but I'm not on. I have a TikTok, but I'm not on. I'm not using it a lot. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, I just can't get to it. I can't get with it. It's too TikTok. What's your TikTok, Liz? I'm gonna put it down below.
Liz Gale. Oh, well, it's the same as my YouTube, my handle. You know what? Just look up Liz Gale Scientology on TikTok and
Google
y'all
her,
will find
guys.
me. I go by Liz Gale Gale
I love it. How
on
did that come
everything.
about?
Because
Liz
Liz
Gale
Gale is a
Gale.
very common name, very common. Um, and I heard somewhere, this is so dorky, you'll love this as a fellow author. I heard somewhere that people have to hear your name 7 to 8 times before they will or your product or
Mhm.
whatever, pick up your book. And
Yep,
I'm
that's right.
branding myself here.
That's
So I'm like,
right.
well, if my username is Liz Gale Gale, boom, I just knocked 2 times out.
You just got it out. It's so catchy, Liz Gale. It makes people say you should introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Liz Gale. So
I
it's
know
like an echo.
some people do still
I
because
love it.
it
I
does
love
fit.
it. Voice Down Under's in the chat, and Laura FM
Oh,
is in the chat.
hi.
Hey, oh
Good to
my
see you,
gosh. And
fellow
Scientology up
artist.
north. This is
Oh, hi,
great.
everybody.
Oh my gosh, all the classics. Talk about
Oh,
how about a Wednesday flex? Oh, this is my fan. He always loves the muscle. Danny DeVito.
yeah.
I got to do the flex. This is
Go
awesome.
ahead.
This is wonderful. Okay, so I want to hear that what you were talking about because these comments are amazing, by the way. But you were about to introduce a
What was I about
topic,
to
the
introduce? The chase wave.
Chase wave.
Yeah. Okay. So for a while, Chase is a credit card, right?
Oh, Chase credit card. I thought you were talking about a
Yes.
white boy named Chase. I'm like the
No.
Chad attack, the Chase.
No.
Oh no,
You
yes.
just.
Wait, but
I just had a visceral reaction when you said a white boy named Chase. Whew. Okay. All right.
because you said it was about a boy, and then you're like the Chase wave. I was like, was that him?
No. Yes, about a
I put
boy.
that together.
The
That was
boy that I
me.
dated. Yes.
I was creating drama.
He was part of the chase wave. So for anybody who doesn't know, for a while there, Scientologists who were on staff and in the Sea Org, if you went in and you said, "Oh, let's say I just finished my OT1,"
Mhm.
I'm going to be super general with my explanation. It's that part's not accurate, but you say, "I finished OT1." What happens is when you finish, you prove that you finished. You write a success story. You don't get to
Yep.
leave. You got to go to get regged for your next course, your next thing. So you
Yeah.
go there and you say, "Oh, I'd really love to, but I don't have enough credit. I don't have enough money to pay for it. It's $30,000. I'm sorry. I have one credit card and it's a $15,000 limit. Can't do it." They say, "Give us your information. We will call your credit card on your behalf, get your credit limit raised, or even take out new credit cards for you,
Yeah.
tell you how to fudge it to get the maximum amount of credit line. Whether you
Yeah.
can actually pay this back or not does not matter to them, right? The reason that
Doesn't
you would want
matter.
to, it doesn't matter at all. And like I said, they will help you
That's on
fudge.
you, boo. We got your
Yes.
money.
Oh, not just that, but don't worry. Once you do OT8, OT2, the
It'll
money will just come
magically.
to you.
Oh, I believe that promise. I was like
Yes.
banking on it because I thought they do condition you. Somebody said that the Hubbards, this was Vanessa, she knows, Amber Vanessa.
Okay.
Amber said, yeah, the story's crazy. Oh, sorry, wait, where is this? There's a comment. Somebody said Journey. Journey 2020. The gradient that Hubbard created was about how much conditioning a person has gone through. So they believe the far out crazy ideas. Exactly. So
Yes.
I was at that point where I was like, the OT levels will give me cause over matter, which money is matter,
Yep.
energy. Well, money's supposed to be energy, right? Money's
Yeah.
energy. So matter, a nice house, energy. Also, our bodies are matter. So it's like we can be, snap your fingers. You've lost weight, you've gained muscle. Yes, matter, energy, space. I can control the space around me. Absolutely. I can fill the space with my essence, my beingness, my big being. You're a big being. Remember that? I hate
Yeah.
those weird Scientology
Oh my
compliments and
gosh.
acknowledgments that I would eat up in my desperation for family and love and attention. And so
They weren't
matter,
wrong,
energy,
Joy. We
space,
are
and
big
time. We are
beings.
big
We
beings.
are big beings.
Exactly.
They were right. Scientology was right about that.
They were right about that. But it's true. That's why when you said you were the PES or the PES, I was the PES as well for a while
Oh,
on
I didn't know
staff.
that.
And Division 6 is the division of promotion, getting
Yeah.
people in. It's the public division. But they pick big beings who are pretty, attractive, not just
Mhm.
physically, but emotionally
Right.
engaging,
Yep.
interesting, like being interested in somebody rather than being interesting. You can't
Mhm.
be shy and be a Division 6. So they handpick you and
Yep.
then they tell, oh my gosh, you'd be so good. So I was like, wow, I would have brought a Dianetics book from Liz Gale, like 100%. If you gave me a stress test back in the day,
I
because I
know.
would trust you. But see, the thing that the enemy wanted for bad, God uses for good. Now
Yep.
you can expose it with your amazing. You're actually great at sales because you're not trying to sell. Real sales is just believing in something. Like you said, you were bad
Yeah.
because you didn't believe in the product because the product was crap. The
Yeah.
used car salesman, they know they're selling you junk.
Right.
Scientology knows, not everybody knows. At the upper level, they know, but at the lower levels, I believed in the product because I wanted to believe it so much. Those OT
Mhm.
levels, yeah, I'll crash and burn this lifetime, not this lifetime whole thing, but this immediate time, I will let it crash and burn for the hope of the future where I'm
Right.
OT and everything magically comes to me. But
Yep.
you meet OT8s and they present really well, but when you start to see the facade crumble, you
Right.
realize they're not happy either.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the
I mean,
highest
I
level
grew
you
up
can
in
get
a
to.
house. Right, exactly. I mean, I grew up in a house. My mom is an OT8 from way back in the day. And while
Mm,
I don't fault her for this, but she's not
yeah.
power over matter, energy, space, and time. And my stepdad also is OT 5, or he was 5. He might be higher now. I'm not totally sure. I haven't talked to them in a long time. Um, he was one of the most difficult people I knew. You know,
Wow.
he couldn't
So
communicate about things
sad.
that he didn't agree with, and just these things where I'm like, actually, that doesn't match up with what you're supposed to be able to do. And it's not very
Yeah.
motivating to chase a carrot when you have actual evidence of the people who've gotten the carrot that
Mm,
it didn't do anything for them, you
mm,
know? Not to
mhm.
mention, because my parents were high OTs and my mom was OT8, um, many of her friends were OT, very, very high level Scientologists. And over the years, unfortunately, as many humans do, we've seen them succumb to illnesses and deaths and accidents and tragedies.
Yeah.
And I
Lots
don't
of
take any pleasure
cancer.
in that. I
Lots of
just say that
cancer in
it happens.
Scientology.
Cancer,
Isn't
yes,
that
cancer.
interesting? There's lots of cancer, and which they
It's
claim is a disease by the second dynamic,
yes,
which is
yes,
so crazy. They have beliefs and everything. They believe that most diseases, 70% is psychosomatic, which a lot of disease is psychosomatic. There is
agreed.
stress, psychology, your
Yep,
mind can make you sick. Absolutely.
yep,
So see, there's truths there, but Scientology didn't discover it. And
right,
Scientology doesn't take but will take ownership for it. Like, but
right,
out them. And he'll even say things to cover himself, L. Ron Hubbard. Oh, yeah, we didn't discover it. But see out there, they've perverted it. We're making it more clear for you. So
right.
then you tend to trust. There's a manipulation you can do where it's like there's this way where you can get somebody to come in by admitting you have a mistake or wrong. So you trust. If I go, oh, I'm
Right.
actually not good at speaking in front of people. You're gonna relax because I'm
Mhm.
admitting something that seems like I'm actually nervous, right?
Right.
But it can be a manipulation tactic or to say,
Mhm.
I didn't invent this. So now suddenly your guard is down. But then I
Right.
can lie to you. And that's what L. Ron Hubbard did. I realized that everything
Mhm.
he put, because you can point to him and say, well, he says he didn't discover it. But then he
Mhm.
goes on to say, but we codified it. We made it better for you.
Mhm.
Scientology has the exact
Right.
process. So if I tell you, oh, see Liz's art, I didn't discover it, but my art actually tells you the exact truth. Well, I'm hijacking her product. That's the
Right.
same thing. It's just a manipulative way to say I
Right.
stole it.
Right. And L. Ron Hubbard, I feel like went one step further with that, where he said, and don't go look at the source. It's a crime
Yes,
to go look at the he'd be like,
you're
oh,
right.
I went out to the jungle and I talked with all these shamans, and I realized, like,
Mm,
oh, they only had half of the story. But don't go ask them. Don't go research
no,
that.
no.
Or like, or you'd be like, but don't look at Liz's art, just look at mine. So
Yes,
it perverts
exactly.
that message where it's like we're coming with openness, we're coming with truth,
Yep,
but
yep.
actually don't look at that. And I don't know about you, Joy, but when somebody tells me not to look at something, my first instinct is what? Like, what am I not
You
supposed to
little
look at?
rebel, you little red-headed rebel. I knew you were up to trouble, Liz Gale Gale.
I always am. I always am.
Bushido of Christ
Um,
is Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good for those who love Christ, right? That's
yeah,
Romans 8:28. So everything works out beautifully. Even if we've suffered and you've suffered, your story is so it's engaging people that would never ever get to hear the truth. The
yeah,
fact that you're sharing this, the fact that your art is so incredible that it's a truth piece And I can't wait till you do a big show and you do a big, like, you're going to we're going to have to do like an art show, an opening, a gallery of some sort,
I
Liz. Like, can we do it in
know.
Los Angeles? Can we do it somewhere and it's a big city?
I would love that. I've realized that I don't know how to do that, Joy. I have more to learn about how to engage with the like artist community and, show things. I'm quite literally hiding in in my, in my
Oh
pump
my goodness.
house.
She's hiding in her pump house. I don't even know what a pump house is. It sounds dirty,
Alls I
Liz.
know, it does sound dirty, and maybe I should clarify.
Pump
I'm really
house.
just in like a
My
storage off.
tomato, we pumping it all day long. She's a pump house.
When you do that, I immediately think of breastfeeding and pumping milk
Okay, so there we
from a
go. We're
bottle.
taking it's a pump.
Sorry.
That's the pump house. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh, a voice from
over
down
behind this
under
wall is,
has a question. Sorry, I got to because
yes, do
we
it.
have talked so much and I love it. I realize I've got to go in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't I never get enough time with Liz Gale. She's amazing. Here's a question. I do want to take some questions from the
Yeah.
audience.
Let's do it.
So to be off topic, Saul's to be off topic. Oh yeah, this is our Australian. She comes from the land down under. I'm wondering if you would please consider making a submission. This is to you, Liz, to the
Oh,
Victorian Inquiry here in Australia. It closes 31st July. It would be so valuable. I can email you a link. What is the Victorian Inquiry? Do you know what that is, Liz?
I do. I've heard of it. And I'd be happy to. I was under the impression that because I am not an Australian, I'm not Australian, that I shouldn't or couldn't. But if what I'm hearing is that I should, then I absolutely will.
Awesome.
I'd be honored to.
Awesome.
Anything I can ever do to share for the cause. I just honestly thought it wasn't for me, but
Yeah, she's
I believe you, so
awesome.
I will.
Yes, Miriam, good to see you here. Exactly, Liz. OT8 doesn't bring you power over matter, says the
Yeah.
journey. It doesn't. That's so who else has any questions? Lovely Chaos says, I am the same way, Liz. If you tell me not to look, I am definitely going to look. Yeah.
Right.
You all have crimes. You need to
I
admit
know.
your crimes.
I know.
Session. Let's get in session.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh. Remember those questions? It's so bizarre. I actually had an interview by a French documentary where about leaving Scientology. It's coming out at the end of the year. I'm really excited for
Okay.
that. But they asked me a question and the way he asked me, it was so Scientology. It went up at the end.
Uh-huh.
I think it was because he's like, okay, so something, something, they ask you questions off camera, like, oh, how'd you get in Scientology? So I'm sharing my story. And then he's like, when was it? And I was like, oh,
Right.
because that's in a security
Yeah.
check, which is the hardcore, uh, what
Interrogation.
interrogation. Yeah, interrogation. There's indoctrination and there's interrogation, right? So
Yeah.
the hardcore indoctrination that you pay for, interrogation, excuse me, you pay for
Mhm.
both, and they're both awful.
Yeah.
They ask you, when was it? Where was it?
Mhm.
Is that all of it? Like, so you have to get all of the overt or the sin in
Right.
detail. If you touched yourself, not to get graphic, it's a family show, but how did you do it? Did you finish? Did you
Right.
use this toy? How many fingers? Like, it's crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. So that when he said that, I laughed about it. I was like, that's kind of. He's like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I didn't
I
have
know.
mean to. I was like, no, I was laughing. I have a dark sense of humor. I'm sure you do
Right.
too. When you've been
Of
through a
course.
cult, you have a dark sense of humor about it.
Right.
So, any
Yeah.
other questions for our beautiful Liz? Guys, put the questions in the chat. We are live. If not, you can also put questions in the comments because I would love to answer your questions the next time. And we're going to have Liz back. She's amazing. We love her. The
Thanks.
prison of
I would
belief.
love it.
So do you want to say anything else? Oh, there is a question. Tim says, I don't get how anyone gets past the body Thetan stuff. Did you get on OT3? Starts
Nope.
on OT3. No, me
Nope.
either. Being infested with invisible beings seems profoundly disturbing. Well, it's all disturbing. And I mean, my answer is, Liz answered too, but my answer is that they indoctrinate you and interrogate you throughout the whole day, weave and deceive so much that you are so trapped into believing L. Ron Hubbard is infallible and the policy is correct, that by the time you get to that, also you've paid a lot of money, like $300,000 to find out this. So you really don't, you're pressured. You don't have a choice really. I mean, are you going to just
Mhm.
leave at that point? I'm sure people do leave at that point, but they're also pushing you to the next level. You have hundreds of smiling uniformed people that you've known for years. It takes
Mhm.
years of indoctrination. It's not like they start you. You heard Liz say, and this is very true. I love when you talk about these details because I didn't even think of that. They put you in the beginning course room. You're amongst people who are newbies and you're
Yeah.
doing all courses on how to achieve a happy marriage, how to help your children, how to, improve your finances, how to be a good
Mhm.
leader. These are basic, actually educational, truthful things that actually help you. So you start to see, oh, well, this works. That's how they get you. This works, right? Budgets, finances, practical skills.
Mhm.
And then once you graduate to the academy, which now you've paid $3,000, $5,000 for these courses,
Right.
now you're amongst people who are more learned and you do feel intimidated when you get in that course. So you're also like, oh, because you're quiet, you're not asking questions. It's not an engaging course room. It's a
Right.
private study space. It's like a library. You're quiet. You can raise your hand and get a course supervisor if you have questions, but then they tell you, what's your material state? Well,
Right.
refer to the material. Look it up. Look up in the
Mhm.
dictionary. You must have a misunderstood word. So you're very controlled not to ask, not to think too much,
Mhm.
and not to talk about it. So now you're
Mhm.
conditioned to be like very quiet, keep these mysteries to yourself, unless you're talking about
Right.
exciting wins and gains and success stories. So by the
Mhm.
time this is now 5 years, usually, I've never seen anybody do it less than 5 years to get to OT3.
Yeah.
And even that's pretty quick, but 5 years to OT3
Mhm.
and you're now conditioned and this is your family, and you
Mhm.
probably work for Scientologists, you probably brought your whole family into
Mhm.
Scientology. You've spent thousands on books, you've helped other people get in. Well, when they
Mhm.
tell you a little thing like body thetans, aliens, invest in invisible beings, demons really that you can talk to get off your body, you're
Mhm.
like, well, I don't know, it's weird, but I really want the magic. I want what that's the witchcraft. They
Yeah.
bewitched you. I want the product. So fine, I'll eat this rotten food if you tell me it's going to give me energy, right? It's like
Right.
witch doctor stuff. Like eat
Yeah.
this dried up baby fetus and you'll, fly. I mean, it's the same stuff that tribes have been conditioning people for years. It is a prison of belief. It's a
Yeah.
modern day witch doctor hoodoo voodoo, which is
Yeah.
witchcraft.
Yeah. And Scientology is, even though they call themselves a bridge, it's really just a straight up ladder where the way I see it is that for every sort of level echelon that you go up the bridge to total freedom, they have to introduce a new problem and a new solution. So, first your
Mhm.
problem is your reactive mind. Then you get clear. Then you're going to go on these OT levels. Now the problem becomes, all these different body thetans. And then, even then, when you get later up, even again to the higher, like the top OT8, there comes another problem where it's like, well, actually, you thought you were free, but you're not really free until a large majority of everybody is free. So the way I see
Exactly.
it is it's kind of almost mundane control. Like, it's even not the aliens and the body things, that's kind of imaginative, but the control method is not really that imaginative. It's okay, you got to this point. Now here's a new carrot. Now you got body thetans. And in Scientology, discomfort is kind of normal. In fact, they say when you hit something that's overwhelming or uncomfortable, you always have to push through it. And
Yep.
so it's known and it's understood that there are going to be really uncomfortable times in Scientology. And they kind of use that expectation to gaslight you because you're like, well,
Big
actually, this is
time.
criminal. This isn't okay. And they're like, no, you're
Yep.
just burning off old spiritual energy. You just got to keep going.
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly, exactly. Scientology of North says OT3 was when Leah Remini woke up and decided to
Yes.
leave. Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a
Her
heavy
mom
trip, no
too.
doubt.
Yeah.
Her mom too. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, because it's so weird.
Yeah.
And
And
they
that's a
were
good
life.
benchmark. Like, not to judge people, but is as sort of an assessment tool. If you meet somebody and they say, "Hi, I'm a Scientologist," and you say, "Oh, okay, what case level are you? Where are you on the bridge
Mhm.
to total freedom?" depending on where they are, is actually really interesting to me because I have a general idea of how much indoctrination, how much time, how much money they've spent. And
Mm.
to be honest, talking to someone who's at the bottom of the bridge to total freedom versus the top, I approach that conversation differently.
Wow, that's really good to think about. That's actually a really good point. It's yeah, it's interesting. Do you think it's easier for people to get out in the beginning? Because I've heard 90%
Yes.
of people leave Scientology the first year. So
Yes.
it's easier to get out in the beginning than in the end. But you would think it's the end because they've been through so much suffering, but they're so invested in the community, right?
But they've also created suffering for other people. That's part of the trap.
Yes,
That
you're
is what I
right.
think
You're
is one of the
right.
biggest psychological hurdles and one of the biggest things that keeps people in that sunk cost fallacy. The idea of sunk cost fallacy is that a person has put so much in that even though they know it's not the right thing, they're too far in. They feel like if they turn
Mm.
back now, they've lost too much. They're too invested.
Ooh.
And by the time you've gotten to OT levels to prove that you're eligible, you have gotten other people into Scientology. You
Mhm.
have sold the books to new people. You have gone to your community leaders and tried to get Scientology or their secular offshoots into the schools, into the community.
Mhm.
I think it becomes a lot harder to come to terms with leaving if you have been part of the machine. Now,
Yeah.
I am kind of lucky in some ways because I was born in. And so there's this sort of
Mm.
like deniability. And I do own that I have done things. I'm not saying that I'm innocent. No Scientologist is. Um, so I really have so much respect for someone in your shoes
Yeah.
who chose it, who got into it, who stood for it, who spoke it with their chest and their heart and meant it,
Mm.
and didn't let that. Once you came to your conclusion about the truth, you didn't run away and hide. I know you took time, which is awesome and great and smart. Um, to me, that's a hero, honestly, because it is so hard to realize
Yeah.
how wrong you've been or how I don't want to say that any of us were stupid, but I felt stupid when I realized I
Yeah.
had been duped. Now that I look back, I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that was, whatever. It happened. Um, it's really complicated. It's really complicated. And I
Mhm.
guess for anybody to get out of this is so, 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 so hard. It's
Yeah.
designed not to get out.
It's a trap, and the
It's a
fact that they
trap.
teach you about traps, see, you feel so deceived and you do feel stupid because you're like, "Well, I know all this stuff," but you
Right.
don't know it. They taught you what you think you know, and I when I talk to people, because people hey, by the way, you guys can reach out to both of us if you need help. Um,
Absolutely.
to get out of Scientology. And you can go,
Yeah.
I always put my email, and every time I do, multiple people email me. Get you guys on my calendar. We have conversations.
Mhm.
It's secret, like protected. You don't have
Absolutely.
to. I'm not going to ever. We'll never reveal who you are. So if you want to talk to Liz or
Yeah.
myself, you can email me and say, "Can you put me in touch with Liz?" And I'll do
Mhm.
that. If you guys need help getting out of Scientology, a lot of times it's just a
Mhm.
safe ear. Make a fake
Mhm.
email account and email us through that.
Mhm.
I've had many people do that. You don't have to
Yeah.
tell me your name. You don't have to be honest and real. And you can be honest, but you don't have to open yourself up to attacks, because I understand.
Yeah.
And I always protect people's privacy on that, because I was
Yeah.
so scared. I
Yeah.
actually called the Aftermath Foundation. I was like, I can't say who I am because I'm a very
Mhm.
public, well-known Scientologist. And I was just like, there's just something so fearful about even talking about it, because you are taught they can read your thoughts, because they can essentially they've taught you that in an auditing session, you're getting your thoughts read by a machine, and
Right.
you are taught that anything you do. For me, I believed it hook, line, and sinker. I really wanted it to be real because the promise was so beautiful. A world without crime, a world without war. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I'm a positive
Mhm.
person. I thought, if there's something to be done about it, I'll do it. I start crying
Mhm.
thinking about this. There hasn't been a lot of moments now because I'm like flat on saying it, but this, I wanted it to be so real.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be the truth. And I'll tell you, if you're lost in that spot right now, there is hope for you. You can come out of Scientology. It is a process.
Mhm.
You were deceived. When I talk to some Scientologists who are current and they're trying to formulate it. They're still thinking in Scientologies. You're
Yes.
thinking in a different programmed language.
Yes.
It's like being raised. This is a stupid thing, probably, but I'm just thinking about this. It's like almost being raised in one country where you only eat one type of food, like a super far away,
Mhm.
far away tribe where you didn't get exposed to TV or internet, right? Because you're isolated and you only ate one type of food, and you can only think in that language, you talk in that language. You're like Tarzan, right? You're raised
Mhm.
with monkeys or something. And
Mhm.
when you come into the real world, which is way bigger, way better, way safer than you ever knew, way more amazing, it's weird. You're like, wait, but that's a cup? I was used to just cut my hands and put water and I have to drink out. What is this thing? Everything's different
Yeah.
because you were taught that round shapes are bad, right?
Right.
That's the cognitive dissonance that a Scientologist faces. It's so
Mhm.
extreme and so hard to explain to someone who's never been
Mhm.
in. Oh, I would never join a cult. Yeah, okay, jerk
Mhm.
off. I didn't intend to join a cult either. Like
Yeah.
people who
Nobody
say
means
these
to join a
things.
cult.
Yeah, well, they would never
That's
get
how
me.
it works.
I've
Right.
shared my testimony individually before I came out publicly. I just got a lot of support publicly,
Mhm.
but people would say things like that, and I'm like, "Well, what do you think I'm an idiot?" Like, "Oh, I would never be. I'm not weak-minded. They wouldn't have got me." And I'm like, "Well, you know what? They designed it to get people,
Yeah.
smart people, super smart people. Liz is not dumb. I'm not dumb. We've
Right.
accomplished a lot." And even if you as a child, you were forced into it as an adult, did you leave as an adult?
Yes. Yeah.
How old
I
were
was
you when you left?
under the radar for like 10 years. So
See, so
around,
even then you were
yeah.
still in as an adult. That's how big the manipulation is. That
Oh, yeah.
it's not like a child as soon as they're like, "I'm 18, I'm gonna
Mhm.
leave." No, because they think
No.
even if they don't fully like with their whole chest believe it, they're still
Right.
like, "This is what I've known. This is all you
Yeah.
knew."
And anytime I would come into a growing pain or, a typical struggle that a 20 something year old comes into, I would gravitate back to Scientology because that was the only outlet I knew for any type of
Yeah.
help. And
Yeah.
so it is like it's almost, do you remember that movie Enchanted where I think it's Amy Adams? She's a Disney princess and then she climbs out of the manhole cover into New York City. She's like in the real world.
Yes.
It's kind of like
Yes.
that, and you don't understand anything. So if there is anybody who happens to be watching, and I don't mean to say you don't understand anything, that sounded rude. I wasn't meaning that. But if you're worried about food, if you're worried about money, there are services out here that you have been hidden from you, most likely, that are easy to access. We can help you. There are people to help you get over those kind of more physical hurdles, like the real life stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, to help ease some of that for you, if that helps. I don't know if that helps anybody who's watching or not, but
Yeah, if you're worried about, like, a job, a place to
right.
stay, um, because you get very dependent upon your community. This is how
Yeah.
cults work, and it can
Yes.
help when you watch, like, Nexium, right? The
Yep.
Nexium cult. I watched that documentary on HBO while I was a Scientologist, and it did give me heebie-jeebies and made me feel like you know what it was? I was, like, apprehensive. I was like, "Please don't talk about Scientology." It's
Mm.
so weird. Whenever I would be, like, getting close to the truth, I'd be like, "Don't talk about it. I don't want." I had this fear of, like, "Oh, I don't wanna have to turn this off. I don't wanna have to stop
Yeah.
it," because I was enjoying it. I'd go to a comedy show and somebody would make a joke about Scientology. I'd be, like, rigid. I'd
Yeah.
be, "Oh, they're talking about I can't," like, "Oh, no, now I would keep listening, but I had this installed mechanism, so
Yeah.
it's not your fault. If you're a
Right.
Scientologist, it's not your fault. They preyed
Right.
upon you. They did this on purpose. That is what
Yes.
I'm here to say, and even if you
Yeah.
manipulate other people within it, you were manipulated. There is
Yes.
pure forgiveness.
For
We
sure. For sure.
we were taken
Absolutely.
advantage of, and I can say I hurt a lot of people in Scientology while I was being hurt because that is the machine. They program you. So
Yes.
don't let your guilt or shame, because that's from the enemy, try to hide you and stop you from leaving or speaking out or talking. Just because you've hurt people doesn't mean you can't get out. There's plenty of people who've gotten out who've hurt people. Mike Rinder, people at the upper echelons.
Right.
who really perpetrated a lot of abuse and kept the machine going. So don't feel like your story is not worth it, or maybe you didn't see a lot of abuse, but there's something in you where you know you've been manipulated. Because let me tell you, you've been manipulated big
Yep.
time. You've been
You
abused.
have.
If you've been a Scientologist, you've been abused.
Yes. And just know that there is a whole world out here that is knowledgeable, accepting, dare I say, loving, kind. It's
Mm,
not the world out here that you were told that it would be. So,
that's right. That's right. It's a good,
yeah.
friendly world. It's a beautiful world.
Also, on a little bit of a tough love, like, what are you doing? If you're still in Scientology right now, think about all the times you were taught about integrity and ethics and standing up for what is right. And for me, those are some of the things from Scientology. I am at the point where I believe in certain things that I was taught in Scientology, but not because I was taught them in Scientology, because I've looked at
Mhm.
them. So
Mm.
you can still have your belief system. You can choose to pick and choose and live however you want out here.
Yeah,
And that's your freedom. That's your God-given right.
that's right.
So I hope
That's
that you will
right.
take advantage of it, because a life not exercising that, in my opinion, is a damn shame.
Ooh, preach it, girl. Preach it. Yes. Come on now. Lovely Chaos said a prayer. Come on, in the name of Jesus, release all those that are trapped in Scientology. I pray Jesus' blood break those chains. Amen. Amen. It was very important for me to drop the language, says Deanna. Yeah.
Yes. If you
Yeah.
talk like it, you think like it. If you
Yeah.
quack, you're being a duck. If you're barking, you're being a dog. So,
I know. It was hard for me too because I love that. I kind of love the way it was so elegant to describe every single thing, but that's part of the trap. We're not supposed
yeah.
to pay attention to every single thing. Like we're not
Yep.
CIA operatives, like having spies,
Right.
having to dissect every. That's how I was. I was like always dissecting the situation. I was always like
Mhm.
control my facial movement, and I'm an actress. So I'm an
Mhm.
artist as artist. So I got really into that. I was like, I want to be,
Yeah.
and I also was like, I really want to please, and I really aim to please. I really aim to. I used to, right? And I used to. I'm like, oh, I want to like embody this
Mhm.
beingness of a
Right.
Scientologist. Like, how do I get good at this? How do I master this? How do I become the best? Very competitive, and
Mhm.
that's part of the trap. You're spinning in a little circle trying to
Mhm.
always
Exactly.
constantly follow this stuff that's impossible. Nobody is up to
Mhm.
those standards. If you're a Scientologist,
Yeah.
there's no standard you can achieve to be perfect. You can't. It
Yeah.
doesn't the
You'll.
full ethics, not those OT8s,
Right.
not any of those people will they don't have what you think they have. It's a
Exactly.
lie.
It is a lie. It is a big fat lie.
So I love you. I love you so much,
I
Miss
love you too.
Liz Gale. Gale, thank you for being on the show. Is there anything you'd like to
Mhm.
say
No, I'm
before?
just glad to be here. Thanks for my morning wake up call. And
You got ready so
yeah,
fast too. You're ready.
well, I am lucky that I am seeing myself from far away. If I watch this later, I'll probably be like, your hair, your face, but who
No, you look
cares, right? We're just
beautiful. You
hanging
look
out,
beautiful,
being
and you're wearing
girls.
colors that match your gorgeous red hair. She's in her emerald green for those listening on the podcast. You're missing out. You got to see the video. So TikTok, Liz Gale,
Yep.
Google Liz Gale Gale,
Mhm.
author, artist,
Mhm.
extraordinary survivor, exposing Scientology on her TikTok all the
Mhm.
time with a cute doggy. She's a mom. She does a lot for the community. And this is her book, Confessions of an Ex-Scientologist Pothead. Born in, sparked up, got out. Go and get this book now. Leave a positive comment or negative, whatever. Like she said, honest, but
Honest. But
honest
you'll love
comment.
it. You'll love it. It's not,
You're going to love it.
I'm a cool mom. I'm not like the other moms. No, I'm just joking. Uh, it's
Ah!
a different book though. It's a very fast read. It's very, very fast. It's not a tome like some
Okay.
other Scientology books. It's a breeze. Most people read it in
Ooh.
a day and a half.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
like
that because
TikTok.
it's a heavy subject. I think that's a really
Yeah.
great gift you have. You can break down a heavy subject into a digestible resource. That's important. It's very important for everyone to tell their story. In fact, I have an ex-Scientologist who's finally telling his story tomorrow
Oh,
on the
good.
show live. So
Great.
another it's going to be breaking news. So Guys, make sure you watch. We're back live. I will be taking another vacation. I know it's summer of Joy Villa slacking. No, she's not slacking.
How
She's
dare
always
you?
traveling. I know. I feel guilty when I'm on. I did my show 5 days a week at 9 a.m., 6 a.m. Pacific. But I will be going live as much as I can when I'm in Europe. But that's in 10 days. I'll be on my European tour for another film. Lots of exciting things happening.
So exciting.
And I know it's so good. It's
I love it.
exciting. But I will not forget you, Joy Tribe. We are live this whole week. Pastor's Panel's back on Friday, so I missed you all. Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much. Love you. Be blessed.
you.
Can't wait to talk to you again.
too.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Joy Tribe, we love our Liz Gale. How awesome. We've been, working it out for a while with our busy schedules. And I'm so honored she came on the show and showed her art. Thank you both, says Fat Grammy. Thank you, Mona. Thank you, Joy and Liz. Awesome. Tons of positive comments. Love you both, says Deanna Ross. Sending all y'all that needs one a hug. Yes, have a good one. Thanks, Kat. Good for my ADHD. I find it hard to read heavy books. Exactly. Voice Down Under. Sunrise is like, yay. Thanks, guys. Bye. Woohoo. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow, 9 a.m. I'm back live. I missed y'all. Thanks for joining. We have over 200 people watching. Appreciate it. Give some love to Liz, and I will catch you tomorrow morning on The Joy Villa Show.
Singer and songwriter Joy Villa has been an advocate for both American health and patriotism alongside this effort, and she joins us now. Joy, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you again, too. This is a great topic. It's something we should never stop talking about.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree. So in a recent Maha report, Kennedy painted a grim picture of the situation for American young people, saying our children are the sickest in the world. Do you agree with this? And what is causing this decline in health?
Absolutely. American children are some of the fattest, unhealthiest children in the world. And that's because there's three things that we're doing wrong in America. One, we are ignoring the health crisis. We are saying it's just kids, it's baby fat, it's not a big deal. Don't hurt their self-esteem. They'll grow out of it. But that's wrong, because the habits that you instill in them now will be the habits that carry on as they get older. Two, food is the major thing. We're giving kids breakfast cereals, tons of chemicals. What RFK Jr. has done is taken a lot of chemicals out, or given a lot of eyeballs to these chemicals that are incredibly toxic. And we're feeding this to children as if it's innocent. Oreos, Coca-Cola, Ritz, Doritos, all of these so-called snacks have dyes and toxins, even the so-called natural things. Natural means nothing. It's simply a ploy to sell more products. So we're feeding kids junk food, and we think, oh, some chips and a sandwich is going to be okay. Kids are literally getting more toxins now than we ever got when we were children. And I'm a millennial. So boomers and Gen Xers think, oh, it's okay to have a sandwich. It's okay to have a cookie. But the thing is, ice cream back in the day, 25 years ago, used to have about 4 or 5 ingredients, right? Cream, sugar, maybe some more different types of sugars, a few flavors like vanilla. Now they have more than 25 ingredients, most of them toxic, imported from China, overseas, many of them plastics. And so the third thing we're not doing is educating our children. Hey, this is what's in your food. My dad used to do that when I was a kid. What are the first 3 ingredients? Is it sugar, chemicals? Then those are the 2 things that are mainly in there. Is it third, whole grain oats, whatever that's supposed to mean? Because glyphosate, they're spraying a lot of these oats with chemicals as well. The best thing you can do is educate your children to say, no, I'd rather have this cookie that's made at home than this that comes in a plastic store-bought box. They've been told us, bought and sold to us, that this food is supposed to be healthy, that kids want it, it'll make them happy. And parents are tired. Parents are overworked, overstressed. And instead of feeding kids something healthy or trying to make a meal, they don't know how to create food. So they just say, let me buy this boxed thing because this is what's easiest. And these companies know that. Kellogg's, these companies are owned by evil conglomerates that package these toxic chemicals into the food. And they don't care if your kids are sick, because that just feeds them right into big pharma, right into the industry. So it starts with education. It starts at home. It starts with telling your kids, eat this strawberry instead of this, eat these nuts instead of this. Or if your kids have allergies, great, a perfect time to educate them on proteins versus fats, versus carbohydrates and what fuels the body and what's healthy. And a lot of parents don't know themselves. So that's why I have Joy Vila Fitness and have an ebook that I want to give away to all the parents watching. And it's avoiding toxins. All you have to go is to go to joyvilafitness.com. And I have free resources for parents and children alike. You'll get my free toxins guide that names many of the most common toxins in foods, plastics, and in home care that you can avoid, educate yourself, and educate your children on. So go to joyvilafitness.com. Yes, so I'm supporting the healthy revolution because people don't know this, but I've been a certified personal trainer and nutritionist, holistic nutritionist for over 10 years. I have programs that help transformation. You can go to joyvilafitness.com to find out more. I'd love to help you. It's a faith-based program, and it'll help you get yourself fit, educated, and better than ever. This is our year for a golden America. We should be the fittest as Americans.